we're still talking about last night's stream. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Maude's Book Club. We're still talking about Iron Gold. It is Iron Month. We have Iron Gold. We have Iron Flame. We've got iron in our goddamn veins. We are doing Iron Month. That's the clip. Seb, what did I give you that within 60 seconds? Go me. That's the clip. Iron Month. Oh, she got an itchy nose. I'm allergic to chippers. That's devastating. Oh, hello everyone. Welcome. So last night we spoke about Iron Gold. We read this book. We did a part 1 and a part 2. We did a bonus book because Iron Flame has come out by Rebecca Yarros, and it is the follow-up to the Fourth Wing book, which took the world by storm. It came out, when did that book come out? January, February, I don't know. It took 2023 by storm. The sequels, or this book came out the 7th of November, which is Vaden's birthday.
Yes.
Because it's my mum's birthday. Vaden and my mum have the same birthday. And you also share the same birthday as this book. 7th of November. So we figured because there was such hype around it, we would do a little chat. It came out on May 2nd. Yeah, right. It's been 6 months. Bam, bam. Oh my gosh, my allergies. So I'll tell you what, all these iron books, what happened to the Nefer guarantee? Get out. Get out, KB Dubs. He's like, no. No. Too bad it was July 11, 7-Eleven was a free slap. Get out. KB Dubs is dropping pun after pun over here. Hi, if you do want to be a part of the show, we have a call that's a video chat that's happening right now on the side. If you want access to that one, it is a Members Plus perk. You can head over to patreon.com/Maude's Book Club. Thank you, Tass. Check out those perks. You help us fund the club. Join us. We have cookies, says KP Dubs. Do we have cookies? He's gone to check. He's gone to check if we've got cookies. We don't have cookies in my house, I'm telling you right now. But I did finish these. It's like they were
cookies yesterday.
Your cookies yesterday?
Yeah, my mom gave me homemade molasses cookies.
They sound delightful.
Over Thanksgiving. They were phenomenal, and they only lasted like 3 days.
I was going to say, did you eat them all up? Are they all nom gone?
100%. There's like 2 dozen, and I just grubbed down on them.
Well, it's Thanksgiving. It's all, rubber band pants. K Frito says, I want these. Oh, wait, you actually mispronounced cookies? You misspelled cookies, K Frito. What you want is in chapter 32 of this book. He's still saying cookies. Welcome to Iron Flame. Oh, it's a little spicy. Kfree.com. I can't believe you corrected it and misspelled it again. What's on your mind? This book is on your mind. I get it. I get what the hell is with this autocorrect. This is a very funny moment. We have a great community. No judgment here. We love a good autocorrect. Why is your phone seeing cookies and it's like, nah, cookies? It's phone sabotage. There you go. You got it. Cookies. Well done. Hey, everyone. Wait, give it. Where's it? Hey. There it is. Hey, Ken, did you have cookies? He's got one. Is that a chocolate chip cookie I see? Oh, maybe we do have cookies around here. A weird start, says Toaster Poster. Listen, buckle up, because this is what's going to happen in this book. So a little bit about the Fourth Wing Saga. It follows Violet Sorringale, who is entering the Basgiath College, where you are sorted into 4 quadrants. You are either a scribe, which is what she was for the majority of her life. She was in that library. You have the infantry, which is like your on-foot soldiers, your army. You have your healers, because obviously shit's going down. For what good they're doing. People die all the time. You can't heal someone who's dead. Make it make sense. Drink. Actually, fuck yeah, I've got beer. I should have a beer. Can we do that? Make it make sense? I have not in ages. Okay, make it make sense. We have a beer. Let's go. She's gonna be wasted. Oh no. Listen. Oh, the chocolate samosas. What was it before? It was a bit thing, wasn't it? I changed it around. I think you had to spend bits to do it. I wanted to try and double it up. Look what I can do. I can drop chocolate. Hello, Loki. MCU Loki. Ha 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 ha. MCU Loki. Hey, how are ya? Kidgen, thank you so much for using your Prime for 8 months, by the way. Really appreciate that. Oh, there's an ad starting in 12 seconds. So if you're not a subscriber, Maude. Beer. Zelda. Zelda. Get on your bed, Zelda. Now, on your bed. Get on your bed. This is Zelda's thoughts. I love it when she's in trouble and she goes into her bed like that. It's very cute. Oh, I put that one back because I like geek, because we're still geeks around here, Tess. We're still geeks. I brought that one back. I had a little shuffle with some of the emotes when I put up the other ones yesterday. But KP Dubs, if you want me to make chocolate a more accessible tier, you say the word. No, there was a delivery person outside. Someone had the audacity to deliver a parcel and Zelda's losing her shit over it. Okay, where were we? 4 quadrants. And then there's the Dragon Rider quadrant. The Dragon Rider's self-explanatory. You have to undergo a series of incredibly brutal tests where most people die and yet they can't stop being horny, which was a real gripe that we had last time we covered this book, where it's like the tone of what happens, the consequences, the fact that people can kill you as well. If they want to kill you and just take care of you, no consequences, you can. So you wake up every day thinking you could die. Number of different ways that you can die. And yet everyone has a very relaxed attitude. Didn't make sense to me. You know what we say around here? Everyone unmute. I want to hear it from you. What do we say around here?
Make it make sense.
Thank you, Venin. And we will be drinking when we have to ask why it does not make sense. Oh, that's nice. So while she's at college, she bonds with not one but 2 dragons. She's the first person who's ever done that. She's bonded with the biggest black dragon there is, called Tan. She's bonded with a baby golden dragon called Andana. She also discovers that her book of mythology that her father, the scribe, who's no longer around, I have a theory about that, everyone. He was telling her about the mystical Venin, who are these evil sorcerers who sell their soul to get corruptible power, and they can make wyverns, which are not dragons, but they're wyverns because they don't have front legs. Their front legs are wings, and they can blue fire, which is like, whoa, so wrong. So they're the actual enemies, not the griffins, which is what they've been trained to believe. Her mother is the general at the college. And her sister went there. She's already gone through it. And she said, do not have anything to do with that Xaden Ryerson. Turns out she had everything to do with Xaden. The whole book, they fucked the whole time. But they didn't like each other. Then they did like each other. And who the hell knows what's going on? And she said, didn't she say I love you? And he didn't say it back? Awkward. Has that happened to anyone? Show of hands. Okay. That was a vulnerable moment. Hands up if it's happened more than once. Okay. I don't need people to pity me. I'm a feeler. I'm a Pisces. Everyone in the chat's like, we don't need to talk about that. Xaden Ryerson. Is he good? Is he bad? What's going on? He and 107 other students have a mark that's been branded on them because they are the son or daughters of traitors. The traitors who tried to help the Griffins, who were the sworn enemy. That's pretty much Fourth Wing, yeah? What did I miss? She got a best friend who's gay, Rhiannon. They have signets. They untap a power. So it's sort of X-Men meets dragons. And her power that birthed her signet was summoning lightning. Her mum, her signet storms. And so the fact that it's her daughter, lightning. Oh, Ropanda says Liam. There was also, oh, that's a really clever use of the emotes. You wrote boom, bot, using all these great, oh, that's fantastic. You're so clever. Is that milk? You're having milk and cookies there, KP Dubs? You're having milk and cookies. Fuck yeah, you're such a legend. That's so baller. You know that, right? That's such a flex. Here I am with my dog and my beer, but no, you go to up me with cookies. No, KP Dubs. I mean, K-Frito. I'm going to laugh at least the next 10 times I hear the word cookie. At least. There's also this guy named Dain. Dain's Violet's best friend. Turns out his signet, if he touches her face, he has access to her memories. Not cool. We don't like that sort of distrust. Dain got real protective. It's giving big... What's the other T guy's name? Tamlin energy. Big Tamlin, where my girlie's at. Big Tamlin energy. You know what I'm talking about with that. Anyway, it turns out after everyone nearly died or nearly got killed, Jack was such a dick. Don't worry, she killed him. We come to the end of the book where there is this secret war. It turns out these Venin, it's not a fairy tale, it's real. The Griffins are actually the good guys. And Xaden, along with his band of rebels, have been helping the Griffin riders to defend their cities and towns from the Griffins because they're not in the ward restriction. So wards are erected around Basgiath and Navarre to stop the Venin from coming in, because if the Venin go through the wards, their power is redundant. But that's only a little pocket, so everyone else has to fend for themselves. So essentially, where's the rebel base? Basgiath. Well, no, where's the rebel base? Within Basgiath. Yes, same answer. No, I was right. So a big lie is being spun to everyone in the college because they're safe. They're making a different enemy than what's really going on out there. Why the lie? We don't know. No fucking reason, actually. There is literally no reason why they've kept it a secret. Why they've kept it a secret and why they're not training these dragon riders to take on the Venin. In fact, if the Venin are such a threat, why are they killing all the riders in these challenges, obstacle courses? What? You need manpower. You're literally outnumbered. The Venin are so powerful. It doesn't make sense. So now we're at Iron Flame. What's happened is she's armed with all of this information that is a huge secret, and her best friend, if he touches her head, will tap into that knowledge. So she's starting to distance herself from everyone. Also, she found out that there is like the rebel camp, and the healer there, her brother that she thought was dead. Not dead. He's fighting for the other team. He joined the rebels. Dead brother is secretly not dead. Thank you, Ropanda. That's exactly it. Not dead at all. So she's got all of her siblings. But obviously, brother found out the truth. And what is it when it's called? When you don't dissect, you don't divert. You jump ship. What is that? It's a D word. Anyone? Defect. Thank you. Hey, KP Dubs, you didn't read the book. Still helped out. Piling. Dive. I'll give you that. That's a D word. That is a D word. Well done. K Frito, please don't write a D word in the chat. Who knows what'll happen? Okay. So her brother defected. He's now with the rebels. They know the truth. If Violet's mother is working for Basgiath College and knows the truth, because she has, you've seen that there was a blade on her desk that is made of the material that can kill a Venin, and it's imbued with runes, right? So Mum obviously knows. Why the secrecy? We're not quite sure. Has Rebecca Yarros made it obvious? No, not at all. Because we've read this entire book, I want to hear from everyone that powered through. What'd you give it out of 5? And give me your thoughts, because we've caught everyone up into what's happened in the first book. But what'd you give the second book? Who wants to go first? Sidi, 2. Oh, Sidi, I hope you are filing your claws and you're going to dig into this with us. I can't wait to hear more from you. Lisa?
I don't know what I'm going to give it yet. Maybe 3.5.
TBD. We'll have a
yeah.
talk about it and then see what we're feeling.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't really had time to digest it because I literally finished it right before I logged into this. So,
She
I mean,
needs some
there's things I
breathing
like
room.
about it. Yeah,
What'd you
there's things
like?
I like about. I just, it was very well. I don't know if it was very fast action for everybody else. I was listening to it very fast, so it all happened really fast. But the pacing for me was good. There were
600
still
pages.
things. Yeah, there were still things that I was rolling my eyes at a lot. But it was still fun, and there were still things that I wasn't expecting to happen that happened.
True.
So,
True.
I mean, I'm still interested. I'm interested to keep going. So,
All right. Venin, 3.25.
Yeah, I enjoyed the book, I guess, overall, but had a lot of issues with it, as I guess everyone else has had as well. I like how at the beginning Val's being taught by Xaden to keep secrets. He's like, okay, you're part of this whole rebellion now, and you need to not tell anyone, or you can't close them. So she just kind of tries initially, but fails, and basically ends up telling everyone she possibly can.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
just
Yes. She's like, well, I know more than you. I've been in this rebellion for 7 minutes, so just hold my beer.
Yeah, so basically it was just interesting, the whole dynamic between like him trying to keep secrets the entire time, her trying to find them, and then him like trying to make her ask him the right questions.
Oh my God, that was so annoying. If that was my boyfriend who was like, you had to ask, you have to figure out how to ask to get that information. It's like, no. Communication is sharing. It's literally what communicating is all about. It's talking through things, not providing a hurdle that you must clear in order to obtain that information in a trust building exercise. She's literally saying, I will not be in a relationship with you if I can't trust you and you're keeping shit from me. And he goes, okay.
Yeah, and the worst part was, like, at the end of the first book, she blew up at him over his keeping a secret of her brother being alive, and that was like the last thing we saw, and it was super important. He's like, oh, okay, I'm never gonna keep a secret from her again. I'll tell everything. And then immediately the next book, nope, I lied. Everything I said was a lie. Yeah. So it really kind of messed that up. But at least in the end, we did learn some stuff from him. Mostly from her figuring out, though. Violet had to literally figure out what the hell his secret was. Logically do this again. That was cool, though. I liked the way she did, though. It was actually a cool way that she like just sat there, looked at everything he did, why he did it, and just go, okay, this is what you are probably. And now I don't know how to trust you even more, because it became intrinsic, means that he knows you can read her mind when he wants to. Or at least when her shields are down.
Well, the intention. There's a caveat with all of that kind of stuff. And we'll get into it. I just have to, since I'm on a bit of a loopy, in a bit of a mood, someone called OccultStool has just followed. I'm assuming it's OccultStool, because otherwise the other option is OccultStool. And a stool is a chair. A stool is also a shit. So OccultStool. The second. It is? It's OccultStool? It is? It is? Oh my God, that's amazing. Means blood in your poop. Oh my God. Why did you choose that for a name? What's happening? I was like, OccultStool. Yeah, that makes sense, because the tool of the. That's great. Okay. Wow, that's brave. See a doctor if that happens. It could be bowel cancer. It could be a ripped anus. You know, there's things that can happen there. So you got to check it out. If it's like old looking blood, yeah, definitely that's bowel cancer. That's no good. I know this because my mom's a nurse. She was. Anyway, my wife was a medical lab tech when I picked it up. Nick. Okay, everyone, back on track. Well, thank you so much for the follow. I really appreciate it. Welcome to Maude's Book Club. We're chatting about this book here. It's a bit bonkers because not everyone read it, and it's a bonus book, so it's just a free-form conversation about it. Sidi made some points, saying, I'm not about to call myself an expert on relationships, but Xaden and Violet feels toxic as fuck. And when that's pointed out to her, her literal quote is, it's us. Like the toxic relationship, it's us. Like, seriously? Yeah, they're not great. They're not great. And it's a very conditional thing. I will love you if you do A, B, and C. That's it. That ain't it. Hey, that's not how you do it. KP Dub says, do you want to hear a blood joke? Look, I walked into it. May as well. Tim's shaking his head saying, don't do it. I just want to be positive around here. Did I just take it? Was that the joke? I just want to be positive around here. My hematologist fired her office assistant for poor typing skills. I guess she was typo negative. Take a lap. Jog it off. Jog it off, KP Dubs.
That was a reach, bud.
Okay, we're supposed to be talking about Iron Flame. We will now be rating KP Dubs puns as well. Fantastic. K Frida says I liked it. There's an audience here for you, KP Dubs. Did you just tell me to jog on? I did. Jog on, mate. Jog on. So yeah, the relationship I feel is quite disconcerting. The first one makes a little bit more sense because he's got some baggage and he's keeping secrets from her because he knows that her brother's dead. He knows that her mum's sus. He knows all this stuff. And he's just like, oh, I don't want to fall for this girl because I don't want her to hate me for keeping things from her. That makes sense. Choosing her, saying that he's in love, well, is in love with her, her setting boundaries, conditions, and then him really not making a proactive step towards that and making it better. And then kind of weaponizing it against her as well. Because she's like, I'm not going to touch you if you're keeping things from me. And he's like, cool, I won't tell you. So now I'm going to deny you sex. But this is what you want, so I'm a good guy. You're like, Occult. Daddy says, I hate that she cut off her mum when her mum was going to talk about the cuts. What do you mean when she was going to talk about the cuts? Let me know more about that. I'd like to know more about that. Also, if you have your rating out of 5, I'd love to hear it. Robin, what was yours? Shush, Zelda.
I still have 17 pages left.
Oh,
I'm pulling a Tim.
Okay, that's fair. Coin that.
But
phrase.
right now I'm at a 3 at most.
Okay. Occult says that her mum gave Xaden. Oh, I see what you're saying. The 106 or 107 cuts in his back. That was Violet's mum that did that. Yeah, that's another little dirty secret that was holding over her. There you go. Piling says, so a little manipulation with a dash of gaslighting. Healthy relationship 101. Venin says, wish we could have better relationships for main characters. They seem to almost always be so problematic. Not recent. I'm listening to it again. He's helping her through trauma. He's helping her back on her feet.
He's definitely one of the better ones.
He knows the truth and he's letting her get there in her own time. I like him. Yeah, this one's not so great though. It's like he's so brooding and he's so hot and he chose her, so that's enough? Nah. Carl and Donut have a great relationship, KP Dub says. That's not a bad point at all. But it's not like, oh, don't make that joke, Maude. I just look up and everyone's going. Do not go there, says Robin in all caps. I wasn't. Zelda, do you have things to say? If you have things to say, you have to come on the show. Can you do that? You want to come up here? No, then you need to shush. Occult's got a D&D game. Have fun. Oh, what's your character? Before you go, tell me about your character. Even Z is saying no more. Oh yeah, I'm getting corrected. That's fair. Nick, what'd you give it out of 5?
I gave it a 4 out of 5.
Cool.
I still, despite all the problems and just the first half was rough. It was a lot, way longer than it needed to be. But I found myself like wanting to keep reading, and I'm excited about book 3. So 4 out of 5.
She hasn't started
But
book
I feel
3
like
yet.
the more we talk, that might go down.
So with Fourth Wing, my first listen through, I thought it was a really good time. I liked the surprises. I thought that the concept was really, really interesting. So I was about that. The second listen through, I found all the problems, and it was really a struggle. Like, it was bad. And, as a group, we spoke about that. It just didn't, fundamental things didn't make sense. I think book 2's problem is lack of editor. An editor should have come in and just started ripping out these pages going, you don't need that. You don't need that. Here's 150 pages. It needs to be 20. Condense it. If you're going to have characters, secondary characters in here, they need to have a personality. They need to have a point. If you're going to have a relationship that's supposed to be good, have them communicate better instead of running in circles and going absolutely nowhere and infuriating us, the reader. If you're going to have Xaden established in the first book, don't completely undermine that in the second book. If Violet's supposed to be smart, stop making her so dumb. There's just some dumb shit that she does. And it's like, I want to see her be brilliant. And she'll get glimpses of it from time and again. I love that she set a boundary in that first book as well. Hey, I think you're, playing with my emotions. I'm getting feelings for you. I don't think you're getting the same feelings back. I'm going to call it until you're ready to step up. I liked that Violet. I like the Violet that's like, hey, I think I can actually recreate these wards, and I think I know where to find all that kind of stuff. I'm like, yeah, let's go. But there's other stuff where you're just like, you are sulking, you are whining, you are complaining, you are going around in circles. All of your boundary setting has just been completely compromised. You're playing games, and you are so not someone that plays games. And you're also kind of falling into this girl on girl against guy concept, which, Rebecca, don't do that. Don't pit women against each other over a dude. That's gross. That's so old. I'm a bit over that shit. Nick says, I saw a lot of people complain about the editing of this book, maybe because they rushed this book to get published so fast to capitalize on the Fourth Wing hype. Yeah, I think this is like a video game. Don't put it out early and it's full of bugs. Like, we will be patient. We would rather a good game. Black Belt says, I hope they give book 3 enough time to be properly edited. Because the first 2 have come out and she hasn't even started the third book, I wonder how much she's going to take on with this. The feedback, what the story can be. I wonder how much she's planned in advance. I've been scouring, looking at reviews online. Someone said, I hope this isn't a 5-book series. I hope it's a 3-book series. There's some things that she seems to have planned out. Others, it's like she doesn't really know where she's going with it. It's like flailing a little bit. One of my guy friends, he pops in the chat from time to time, Josh, he hit me up because he was like, oh, I won't be able to won't be able to watch the show. And his number one concern was, where are all the adults that have gone through the Dragon Rider Academy? Where is the Dragon Rider army? It's like, yes, we know sort of like Mira is in a contingent, and that's kind of where Xaden is at the moment, and there was that brawl. But it seems that the only adults are either working at the college or they're working at the rebellion, and there's only 6 of them total, like in each. So there's only like 6 teachers, and then there's only 6 that make up sort of like Black Belt says they're all dead or they're not invented yet. But my friend had a really astute observation with that. He's like, it's kind of bothering me. There's supposed to be this entire place, but it's like, and my first response was, Dude, I think the death toll is just so high. They die out. Their life expectancy is just like so small. But then why are all the kids coming into the college? Why are there like 150 people around the same age and there's 4 adults? Make it make sense. Keep It Up says, are they dead? Is this foreshadowing where our characters are going? Who is birthing these kids? Exactly. Black Belt says, but they kill all the kids too. So it makes sense, kind of. Piling said, it's like Hogwarts. And that was the same thing that my friend said, where are all the adults? But it's like, you know, you had Molly. People were working for the defense, the ministry. There was like a whole lot of people. But yeah, it's mainly focused on the one school and the kids. I get that. DKGamerFan said, I'd accept the adults all being dead if it was written in, but the storyline up with that. I think you missed a word there. Help me out with that one. Sidi says, why are all these high security areas only being guarded by 1 to 2 people? Make it make sense. Sidi, you had amazing comments in the Discord community when I was reading them. I think it was like yesterday when you posted it, or it was the day before. I can't remember. But I was reading them all. I'm like, oh my God, I didn't even pick up on that the first time. You're exactly right. This is ridiculous. So I want to go through all of those that you made in the Discord, and like when I'd love for you to comment them so we can address those one at a time as well. Sidi says, go nuts. Venin says, no one talks about having tons of siblings. With the death rate in this book, you'd think that parents would be breeding like rabbits. Yeah. Keep It Up says, with this kind of death rate, every couple would need like 7 or 8 kids or the population would never grow. That's exactly right. Yeah. Let me have a look at some of your comments then. Whoop, that's not it. It's in Iron Flame. And here we go. I'd like to call this City's Corner. The first statement was, like, don't get me wrong, it doesn't deserve the mainstream appeal the series has achieved, a TV show 6 months after the release. Wait, are we talking about, we are in Iron Flame. The TV show 6 months after the release, seriously? But I wouldn't throw my Kindle out of the window over it because I sort of expected it. Like, I finished the book and sort of rolled my eyes because of course that happened. Maybe it's just that I didn't expect it to be great, and so I wasn't disappointed. I do somehow like it more than Fourth Wing though, because at least this time around Violet doesn't just feel like a passive character who just lets everything happen to her and then react to bullshit. She actually shows some initiative and tries to affect the plot. It's weird because it feels like there's a split in the quality of the Chekhov guns being strewn around. On one hand, you get crap like, I'm going to challenge MC. Who's MC? Who's MC? I'm going to challenge MC to a duel.
Main character.
Main
character. Thank you. I'm going to challenge the main character to a duel. And in the same page, show my major weakness because there's like no way that that's going to come up again. And then in others, the author seeds clues in what feels like a much more subtle manner end of Iron Flame spoiler. Like the fact that Xaden's an intrinsic, which has clues dropped as early as book 1, but it isn't confirmed until the end of book 2. When we did our fourth wing breakdown, I went over every single mention of Violet saying her head prickled. And it was something like 19 times. And that was every time Xaden was reading her intentions. So we'll go over that spoiler as well. And am I the only one confused about the time frame in which some of these events are supposed to have occurred? Like Xaden and Kat, how is that supposed to have worked? Xaden's been either fostered by a loyalist duke or at Basgiath for the past 6 years. So when was this relationship with Kat supposed to have happened? Supposedly, they'd broken it off at the start of Fourth Wing, but I don't understand how they were carrying on in a relationship when Basgiath was so far from Corden. I think initially I was like, yeah! But then I realized that he's been dropping off weapons to the Griffin Riders for some time, and Kat's been a big part of the Griffin Riders Society because I think the main woman that he's been talking to is Kat's sister. Yeah. So I'm like looking at Lisa for confirmation. Good. So I think that's Serena. Yeah. So I think that's how he's been seeing her. But if he's at the college pretty much the entire time, he's seen her all of 5 times over however long they were together. So yeah, you're right. That's a bit. Frankly, there are a lot of things that don't make sense. From a prison cell having hinges on the inside to Violet saying her father mentioned seeing a first-hand account from the 6th, but then acting surprised when Riddick mentions there being at least 2 of them later on. Or why is Violet just going along with the way Kara is teaching her when it should have been blatantly obvious the first thing that she needed to learn was control, since she keeps starting fires every time she's either upset or orgasms? 10 tells Xaden off for trying to read him in book 1, but then he acts like he's just learning about it when it's finally revealed that Xaden's in Tinsic. How the heck was Solus able to find them in a random cave in the middle of nowhere at the exact moment that Tan wasn't there? I just feel like we're definitely going to be maintaining the mantra of make it make sense. And if we tried to make a drinking game of it, we'll all end up completely plastered. I've got more, but I'll stop ranting now. And then I wrote, going, oh, wow, these are incredible observations. I didn't take notes when listening. I was just powering through it. So let's unpack some of that. Nick says, I still don't understand the need to infantry. Their main enemy are either Griffin Riders or now Wyverns. Are the infantry just red shirts? I think we can collectively say yeah. Yeah. That was referring to Barlow, says Sidi, when trying to fight the main character. Yeah. Are you talking about the prickle? That's what made me start looking for it. Yes. KPW says no power has won a war with air power alone. Ground troops are needed to hold territory and to keep the peace. Oh. Sidi says, but he has a room at their house. Like, what? The cat saga. How did that happen? When was the betrothal a thing? How did that all happen? He's supposed to be at this college, and keep in mind, Violet went off once and was pretty much essentially going to be tortured or expelled because she went off once. And here is a guy maintaining 107 students from staying in college and passing grades and learning how to fight. His grades and being the best and learning how to master his shadows and stealing weapons to drop them off to the Griffins every weekend pretty much, and a relationship with Kat that's lasted a few years that's like his soon-to-be fiance. Black Belt. Was Xaden fostered in Corden? That's what I thought when they mentioned that he had a room there. So that could have been the time that he met Kat. So you reckon he and Kat like have known each other since they were kids? Thank you, KP Dubs. Venin says Xaden's real signet is time control because no one's got time for that. That's interesting. Corden is in enemy territory. Ah. Then that's not it. Ugh. At the start of the book, we learn about the infrastructure of the rebellion side of things. Brennan is one of the more senior members making decisions. Xaden's obviously there full time now that he's graduated from Basgiath. What did you think about seeing the war from a completely different point of view? We can skip any question that no one gives a shit about either.
No, I like that part. I like that
too.
we get to actually see from the perspective of the Griffin Riders more and other people. Like, it's good because, especially because, you know, not only you see the war, but also like how they train their people. Like, we really see that, hey, the people way that Basgiath were all change their kids is ridiculous. And the Griffin Riders are like, why are your people crazy? Like, why are they doing it? Like, they killing themselves so much. Like, it's good to kind of
I
curb the
liked
perspective.
that. Yes, I think you needed to have an outsider looking in and questioning the bullshit that's happening, going, this doesn't make any sense. And also, it's like, if the dragon dies, the rider dies. But if the rider dies, the griffin dies on the opposite side of it, which I thought was really interesting. So the person held more power than the griffin, but the dragons are they're higher up in the hierarchy of power and possession, I suppose. Sidi, why did Tan fly off to go hunting when Violet is going into what's described as a potentially dangerous situation when she goes to meet with the Viscount? He's a hungry boy. Big boy gotta eat. Ropanda, Flyer, we just swim back to the shore if we can't land on a griffin. Riders, sorry, what? You don't just die? It's like, yeah, you knobs. Like, he got it so backwards. No one should have died that much. All right, here are some of the generic-y questions, and then we can move into spoiler territory. Sound good? Sidi says, how is Barlow supposed to enthrall his dragon when he's inside the wards? And how did the dragon not notice what was going on? It should have been, all of that should have been dormant. The dragon should have been none the wiser at all, because as soon as Jack came back in, all the powers should have been redundant. Can you be a Venin and still cross in there? Is it the power? No, they died, didn't they? The Wyvern would die if they flew into it. Oh, because the Venin created the Wyvern. I don't know. How did they find Jack Barlow? When did he turn into a Venin? Why was Nolan using Jack as an experiment? Apparently the end solution was that there's no cure, there's only control. What did you think was going on with Jack when he initially came back into the college? I thought he was a Venin in disguise that was using his likeness. I didn't know that it was still Jack. How does one become a Venin? Are they kind of offered the forbidden fruit, and if they take it, their soul's done and their eyes go red?
It has something to do with taking their power from the earth or something, and
Absorbing power. Yeah.
absorbing the power instead of gaining it from the dragons or something. I'm not sure. A little confusing.
It is, isn't it? That was another question that my friend Josh had. He's like, how did he become a Venin? What had happened there? And I was like, I think he just got made an offer. But the sage was visiting through dreams, right?
Yeah.
Which makes me wonder a little bit about Violet's secondary signet. Is it going to be dream walking? There's thoughts online that she can talk to the dead because Liam has come to visit and helped her through very traumatic situations and kept her grounded. So is she able to communicate with the dead? What do you think Violet's second signet's going to be?
I think that could be something like that. I think because part of it is for history as a scribe, or as going to train as a scribe, and she has seen it already that's already working for battle purposes, lightning. She doesn't really need any more damaging signets like that. So I think it'd be related to something that's like more on the utility side, like I said, speaking of ghosts, or something to do with history. Like she has to have, one of the main things in the series is trying to discover the history that's been stolen from them or been erased, and that's been issued because the scribes have the power to do that. They have power to write history. So her goal is probably going to be, and her saying it's probably related to it, is to help uncover what they've hidden from everyone. So
Yeah.
I feel like it's me. They come into play somehow.
I think it's going to be learning information or something to do with that. I think the fact that she was a scribe for so long, and it's a huge part of who she is, she's been seeking knowledge. Like, that's at a fundamental level who she is. Like the lightning, she's her mother's daughter. Mother was a storm summoner. Lightning's a part of a storm. That kind of makes sense. The fact that she's like this psychotic weapon, it was hard for her to kind of come to terms with it in the first book. I think there's got to be something about understanding ancient runes, ancient magics. She's going to somehow be able to learn about all these things. And with that, I think she's going to be able to find the solution, the cure for Venin. She's going to learn to understand their power, how it was corrupted, how it was manipulated, and how to course correct that. I think course correct is my word for the moment. I've said it quite a lot lately. I like it. Course correct.
Yeah, like maybe it could be like a form of like psychometry, where like you touch something and you can kind of get the memories of like whoever else touched it as well, and or the history of the object itself.
Mm.
So I can see something like that happening.
What does everyone else think the Violet's secondary signet could be? More lightning. She go mad. Bookend. Ha ha ha.
I saw a theory online that I kind of agree with. That
Let's go.
her second,
Hold on. First,
her
Nick.
second power.
How long did you stay up looking at these theories after you finished the book?
Yeah, I was up. I finished the book at like 1:30, and then at least another hour I was up reading theories last night.
Well, let's make it count. What are some of these theories?
Yeah.
Let's hit us with the goods.
The one I saw was that her second signet would be something like dragon wielding, because they mention multiple times how like you're not allowed to talk to other dragons you aren't paired with and all this stuff, but she does it like multiple times throughout. And then like, just like with the whole battle with Sawyer's dragon, how she like jumped on him and it was fine and whatever and stuff. And then the big dragon that she got, that she convinced to like help them power the Wardstone, Koda.
Yep.
He just like was like okay, and like went along with her plan. So that was one of the theories I saw.
Because Koda and Tan had a little bit of whatever. I know it was like Solus. The other, Tan took out his eye.
He's like, I think he's like the only dragon that's bigger than Tan.
The only one.
And he's like the one that's not afraid of him.
Yeah. Okay,
and
that's
then
an interesting theory.
Follows Violet and like, okay, I'll go along with your plan. But like,
so she can
you're
kind
not
of
supposed to be the like top dragon, so.
But when she was like, "No, Solus, don't kill me and Andana," he'd be like, "Copy, off I go."
Yeah.
Not to debunk it. I mean, that 2:30 a.m. scrolling through theories, I think it's important that.
I mean, she hasn't trained it yet, so it could just be like
true
manifesting. And there's something there with Andana being like a special type of dragon, and like the leader of his den, of her den and stuff. So like,
yeah,
I don't know. It could kind of fall into the trope of like, Violet's like the chosen one kind of thing, and like he's gonna be the one to like help everything and help the Empyrean.
Well, I mean, because she needed to have a dragon from every color, right? And there was that mystical sixth color because there's red, orange, blue, black,
green,
brown, and then
there's 6, and then Andana's the 7th. Yeah.
And what do we think Andana is? She's a bit of all of them. She can change between.
I saw somebody say she's silver, which would
so
make
it's
sense
like reflecting.
Silver one, like Violet has silver hair, and she's the silver one that Taryn calls her. And they're saying that's
that's good. Silver one.
I like that.
And silver reflects, so she's kind of like reflecting different colors, I suppose. She can hide, so again, she's like reflecting. It's like her whole thing is that she's literally Homer Simpsoning into the bushes, and like no one can see where she's hiding. So she's very, very stealthy, which comes in handy. Dustflight 181, thanks so much for the follow. Welcome to Maude's Book Club. We are covering Iron Flame, the second book by Rebecca Yarros, the first being Fourth Wing. Rockamummy is online, first-time chatter. A big hello. Says, I saw a theory about her being a distance wielder. What with it being mentioned that there hasn't been a distance wielder in centuries, and then Andana saying she waited centuries for Violet. But I don't know what a distance wielder is yet. Let's speculate. What's a distance wielder? Teleporting? Venin saying yes. Sidi's saying teleporting. I thought teleporting when her first one was stopping time. And she no longer had the ability to stop time. I was like, well, then the next one's got to be teleport. Because they kind of go hand in hand. But I think, if Andana's going to give her the ability to teleport then, which will be great. That's fun. Catch22 says it's distance wielding as someone with really long arms. I'm right here. Say it to my face. Yeah, we're just showing off our arms now. For those that don't know, we've got a Patreon, and Members Plus are all in a video call while we stream live. So they're in the conversation, and I can see all of their reactions and faces. And we have in-jokes all the time. If you want to be a part of it, jump over to Patreon. It's a lot of fun. We're doing 1 to 2 books a month now. We have Fable as well. If you want to place a free app where you can do chapter breakdowns and weigh in when these chapters happen, that's a lot of fun. Join our Fables. We've got 2 links for that. We've got Maude's book club and then Maude's bonus book club. So we've been talking about these. I, at one stage, was weighing in about my Jack theories over on Fable. I was like, there's something here. And then I also on Fable was like, I feel it in my gut. I feel like it's going to be Rhiannon or Sawyer or Riddick that goes. That's going to die because everyone's freaking dying here. KP says, I love Fable. It's a lot of fun. I love it too. It's like another little community where we can talk about it, but a different way to talk about the books. So posing the question to everyone else, likely one of the 3 are going to die. They're a little awesome foursome. They're all in on the secret now. They're all with her. Fable is my budget way to take notes without paper and pen. There you go. There you go. Who do you think's going to die? Is it going to be Riddick? Is it going to be Rhiannon? Or is it going to be Sawyer? Sawyer lost his leg. Sawyer lost his leg already. So when Sawyer started seeing the scribe, what's her name? Starts with J. Jacinia. I was like, well, he's going to die. You found love. See you later. Rhiannon's been boinking Tara, which never really gets mentioned, just that she's had a crush on her for a while. Riddick, apparently out of nowhere, knows that there's an entire secret level of the scribes. Oh, I thought everyone knew that. Cool. I figured something out that no one else knew. Why did he know it? Hey, Little Viking 808, thank you so much for following. It's Maude's book club here. Rockamummy says, I think it's going to be Rhiannon at Xaden's hands. To really make it an enemies to lovers thing. I need a second. You're probably not wrong. Lisa says, distance wielders can cross hundreds of miles in a single step. Where'd you find that info?
Well, I just Googled it and I found an article where she had done Rebecca Yarros had done an interview saying that
Okay.
every single hint you need
Is in there.
about her second signet is in Iron Flame and it has manifested. And the popular theories are that it's a distance wielding, communicating with the dead, or amplifying other people's powers.
She's an amplifier. What is this? Shadow and Bone? Little Viking
I
says,
like the idea of the communicating with the dead, like, because she saw Liam multiple times.
Liam was
Yeah.
holding her hand throughout that whole portion.
And that would make sense if it being something that has manifested and she doesn't realize it's a manifestation yet because it happened when she was going through trauma. So she just thinks it's in her head.
Yeah. Yeah. It's right there. Alina Starkov, move along, says K Frito. Little Viking says, is everybody here from Australia? Nobody else here is from Australia. Sometimes Tate the Aussie will pop on by. There's really so few people. The only time I know that there's an Aussie here is when I'll try and say something that I think is fact about Australia, like how we pronounce a word, and I'll be swiftly corrected. Didn't say anything for like 4 streams, and all of a sudden, you're wrong, Maude. I'm like, yeah, that's the Aussie. That's the Aussie way. Are you from Australia? No, I actually sat in front of the mirror for 4 years to try and get the accent down because I'm an actor in America and I just really wanted work. But instead, I'm just streaming. 1, 2, 3, Nudie says, I'm from Oz. There we are. Pylang says, Maude, be nice. Sorry, I thought the sarcasm was a giveaway. I'm very much Australian. Yes. Lovely to have you here, Viking. Venin says to Viking, I don't think the time works for most Australians. There are more on Discord, though. Join the Discord. I do have, as Skull Cleaver's showing. Oh, what? Rockamummy's from Australia too? Where are you from in Australia? I'd laugh so hard if it was Rockley and that's what the rock stands for. Melbourne. Dustfly181 who just followed. I'm from Oz too. What's happening? Am I front page on Australia's Twitch or something at the moment? What's going on? My kindred spirit! Aussie! My countrymen and women. Lovely to have you. Sorry, I was a bit sassy earlier. It's just this stream in particular. Ropanda says the Aussies are infiltrating. You bet your butt they are. Little Viking says, okay, my new Australian friends, I have a very good question. Here we go. Will he get blocked? What's your moderators, stand by, please. What's your question, Little Viking? Rocket Mummy says, coming out of the woodwork here. Oh, I love that. 3, 2, 1. Anyone else nervous? What's your question, Little Viking? You've got the stage. Just Rob says, I want to move to Australia. I just need to know how to spell it. I want to move to Aussie. I'll help you out. Australia. That's how you spell it. Pylang says, friends, Aussies, country folk, lend me your ears. Just Rob says, I've been drinking. Did you also read the book and find every fault in it and drink when you found it? Happens. Is it not Straya? You're right. But Americans can't say that. It's an Australian word only. Maude put the awesome in Australia. Rob says, I don't know how to read. You're doing a great job so far. Great job, Just Rob. There was a funny thing that you said earlier, Nick. You made a great comment, but we got a little sidetracked. Can you remember what it was? It was a make it make sense moment. Nick?
It was about how like they just kill all these kids and like don't care. Oh, you're an intrinsic, killed right away. But then they spend the whole year using their mender to mend Jack, who was an asshole, and who is a Venin. Like, why would they spend all year fixing him and then just like let other people die?
Exactly right. If you have a whole quadrant of healers that need hands-on experience, this is your whole subplot of Grey's Anatomy. Like, they need to be coming in, doing their healing and fixing their emotional trauma because they're all probably sleeping with each other as well. Why is it just Nolan who has been taken away to focus on one guy to see if he can control Venin? And why are they bringing Jack back into the school? Why are they keeping that a secret? I mean, there's so many things. You're right.
I would say obviously we're gonna figure out more about Jack and what's going on there, but who knows with this book if that's the amount of explanation we get. But
yeah,
I hope it's explained.
And then Nolan completely betrays Violet as well, and the guy's like barely staying awake. That's a bit of a weird one. Little Viking's question was actually really harmless. I'm a guy from far, far away from Australia, but I'm going to holiday to Australia. Where can I pet those cute mini bears? Koala with a C, koala with an 8, a K, or whatever their name is. K Frito says drop ones. I think you're trying to refer to drop bears. The drop bears aren't friendly. The drop bears will get you. You want to stay away from the drop bears. You want to stay away from the cane toads. You want to stay away from about 19 different snakes that'll put you in hospital or kill you in 2 hours if you don't seek medical help. Rocket Mummy's right. Australia Zoo in Queensland, which is actually, I bought my brother a 4-pass for his wife and children to go to so that they could pat some koalas. Any sort of zoo. Usually the koalas are so cute and sleepy. They sleep for like 19 hours a day. So Dustflight says some wildlife sanctuaries will allow you to hold one. Just Rob says every animal in Oz will kill you. They do not care. And to this, I have a great argument for that. A lot of us Americans would be like, oh my God, I would never go to Australia. All the animals are trying to kill you. And I'm like, yeah, but they're animals. Like, there's no intention except survival there. I'm actually more afraid of a white scorned man with a gun. You want to talk about what's really scary and what's actually likely to kill you? It's living in America. It's going to school. It's going into a workplace. It's getting into a relationship. That's what's scary. I'd rather tango with a snake any day. K. Frito says, sadly true. Ouch. You come from my country. Basil says, just kidding. You're right. K. Frito says, you are. Oh, you said you were from far from Australia. I was taking a guess. Oh, Nordic. Are you Nordic? Viking. My brother looks like a Viking. Just Rob says USA is a toilet country. The toilets are actually really different. In Australia, there's a lot smaller and it's less water, but it goes whoop. And then, because everyone was like, oh, doesn't it drain the other way? No, we do not have a whirlpool effect. My God, imagine my surprise where it's like you have time to say goodbye to whatever you've dropped off. Like in Australia, it's like, boom, we don't talk, we don't tell. It's gone. It's gone. Tim is just like, oh my God. Anyway, so that was the big difference. Viking says, no, I do not think about spiders. Don't they have really big spiders? Yeah. They do, but not like the fat, hairy ones. I think the spiders over here are a little bit more frightening. Even though I've never really seen one in the wild, and I see spiders in the wild all the time back home. All the time. You just have to like not walk into a cobweb, a spider web. That's all. Basil says, I always need time to say goodbye to my works of art. No. No. Basil? No. Okay, let's get back to the other piece of shit. This book. Let's go through some spoilers here. Number 1. In Iron Flame, Brennan said that Nolan tried to save him and it cost him everything. What do you think happened to Nolan, since we know that Brennan's alive? What is the real truth with that? There was another guy who apparently Brennan was like in love with, mayhaps. Tried to save him. Brennan died, but didn't die. What's going on there?
Yeah, I think I would agree with one of the note in the document about how I think the guy Nolan is going to be a Venin, like, because they said it cost him everything to try to res Brennan. And
so you think that he's created his own serum?
Yeah, I mean,
that's interesting. Okay, so Nolan could perhaps also be another Venin. Well, what happened at the end of the book? Did Nolan walk out with them? Did he fight? What was his partner? Anyone remember? Where are my girlies with tabs? So wait, Nolan was the mender for Jack, right? Oh, it was the other one. It was Nolan.
Yeah. Nolan was the one who died saving Brennan, and he was also Taryn's former rider.
I'd like
but
to.
Like people think that like he became a Venin, and then that's why he unbonded with Tarn, but he's like still alive because Tarn always says like he doesn't say like explicitly he died. He says we don't talk about the one who came before. So there's something there with Brennan and Nolan and the Venin, and I think they think Brennan and Nolan were like together.
Yes, they were lovers. That's what it was insinuating. So we think that maybe Nolan could be a general. Also, to echo Sidi's thoughts in all caps, not confusing at all to have a Nolan and a Nolan. Are you kidding me? There's so many names. So many names. Okay, so Nolan could be a general in the Venin army. Do we think Nolan is the sage? Likely not, because it was only a few years ago, 6 years ago. Could he have climbed the ranks in 6 years? I'm thinking no. Nolan. All right. Fuck, that got me. Thank you so much, Rocket Mummy. That was really impressive. Question number 2. What were your thoughts about Dain switching Sloane to the Fourth Wing so that Sloane and Violet could be closer together, so that Violet could watch over Sloane? Is Dain doing better things in this book? I was reading reviews online. Oh, by the way, peanut butter bath. That sounds great. I love peanut butter. I got distracted. How'd you get that name? How'd you come up with peanut butter bath? It's fun to say. But anyway, welcome. Sports Book Club. We're talking about Iron Flame. We're talking about some theories. We're talking about some questions. Dain in book 1, we had a slogan, fuck Dain. We didn't like Dain at all. In this particular book, has been some feedback that Dain, the character, was a little bit underwhelming, that he didn't have as much sort of like impact. Violet wouldn't even talk to him at all. He's trying to do some redemption. They were working together on translating one of the tomes. But what's everyone's thoughts on Dain in this book? Who wants to weigh in? Sidi said trying to mend fences. Not wrong. Where are we with the Dain disdain?
I think maybe he didn't realize what effect he had on the first book, on telling his dad about her memories, and he's just trying to make up for it now. Do I like him any more than I did in the first book? Not really. but I can see him trying to be a better person and help out.
He
the
had
good
so much
side,
more
so.
substance in the first book. It was easy to hate him because we knew who he was. He was very clearly a
Yeah.
character. In this particular book, he stopped really being anyone. He was trying, and you're right, he's trying to make amends. I love Rockamummy's comment. I think Dain is just lost and floundering because he's always followed his dad and he's not used to standing by his own morals. I do think that that was just I just cleared my throat, KB Dubs. Here. That wasn't a burp. That wasn't a burp. No, now you've put it in the burp count. So we need to, give me a second. There you go. That's the burp. Sidi says, sort of reminds me of Cassius from Red Rising. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Nick says, I think Dain had a crisis when he realized that Violet was telling the truth, and now he's trying to make amends. I like how his character is very morally grey. Still hard to get over how much of a dick he was in book 1. True. I like that they're able to work together. I just don't want the fact that these two grew up together. Like, no one there knows Violet better than Dain does. Like, they were thick as thieves when they were kids, and it was kind of all flushed down the toilet. And I think that maybe in hindsight, Rebecca Yarros needed it to be so violating to have him steal and be deceptive in how he was taking her memories, and the fact that he used those memories to betray her to Dain's father, who used that to try and eradicate every rebel. So I understand that, but I think the reason why that had to be so impactful was because Xaden is intrinsic, and it needed to really land that Violet keeps getting betrayed by people she puts a lot of trust in. Rockamami says, oh yeah, keep that in mind. I haven't gotten to that one yet. Please read Red Rising. It's so good. Sidi says, and yet Dain is no worse in his dickishness than Xaden. And yet Xaden gets a pass on all of his bullshit because he knows how to use his tongue real good. To Rockamami saying, yeah, this 100%. That's because I tried to force the other one, so it created a second one. My tummy hurts now. Nick says, yeah, it'll be interesting to see how Violet treats both Dain and Xaden going forward, considering they both betrayed her in the same way, basically. I think that she would argue that Dain's actions kind of contributed to the death of Liam. Oh, I'm sorry, Liam. My bad. Liam's loss was huge, and it wouldn't have happened if Dain hadn't done that. And so I think that that's the big issue. Whereas Xaden he's saved her a lot of the times. He hasn't been protecting her. He's been building her up. He's been making her stronger. He's been letting her in somewhat. And I think it's an interesting thing because Dain's powers are being used in torture. Like the fact that Varish is like, all right, Dain, get in here. We need to break her. And he's like, no. How about no for that one? And people are starting to learn about Dain's Signet a lot more, which is supposed to be like a really hidden thing. It's supposed to be kept under wraps. Xaden, if people find out he's dead, he'll die. He couldn't really tell her. Basil said, did someone say good tongue? You gotta read the book, dude. It's spicy. It's smut. Things go down. getting back to the comments. Sidi says, Maude. I was subtle. Sidi says she's still sleeping with Xaden, so it doesn't seem like it impacted her that much. Venin says, I think Dain's betrayals are more ignorance, though, while Xaden's is clearly more dishonest. His hands are tied with one of them. The other shit he should be sharing. He should be sharing. And it's like, if you really want to win over trust, he should have volunteered that information as like a make good of, I'm literally handing you the keys to my life. Like, how much more trust do you need? Again, because I'm listening to Akatar again, it's like Rhys is showing Feyre everything. He's showing a city, an entire city that's being kept under wraps and that could destroy everyone in there. And he's sharing it with her to build trust. Dain says, and yeah, not playing these dumb games with Violet. The games are really arduous. 585 says, I just finished reading my 6-year-old his bedtime story. It was very fleshy. You must be from Break Room. Hello, 5. How are ya? Black Belt says, exactly, it's all about the intention. Dain's clueless. Xaden knows that he's lying to her the entire time. So are we not Team Xaden anymore? What is it about the relationship between Violet and Xaden in this book that's kind of undermined their relationship instead of strengthening it? Nick, I know you got thoughts.
So they did have towards the end, Xaden was like preaching about how like, oh, okay, finally, like we'll be on the same page. I'll tell you everything. And good, he's talking about how to be a good communicator. It's like, okay, good, that's good. But he spent this whole half of the book clearly lying to her, and she was struggling with everything, and he kind of like didn't care. So it's like, what? And then after that communication talk, it comes out that he's been doubly lying to her this whole time.
Yep.
So it's like, it seems like she already kind of forgave him for that. We'll see. I kind of don't want her to go into book 3 like questioning his motives, because she spent the first half of this book questioning everything.
Not even the first half. Like, it's still going. It's still going. And you're right. It's like,
so much.
We need more of a demonstration of utilizing that 1 day a week or 2 weeks or whatever it is that they have together. Really building a partnership. Like, that's what this book really kind of requires. Not more bickering, not more bullshit. We need these two to be rocks. And I think the feedback that I've been reading online is that Violet and Xaden both became more annoying. And if these are our two main characters that we are in the majority point of view of, and we need to be championing through all of this, and yet we want to give them a smack, it's like, figure your shit out. That's not helpful as Lisa allowing that one, are we? No, power is in your hands. Wait, I didn't mean to say that about that word. It's completely unrelated. Very unrelated. That was a poor choice of words. If anyone's following along, I apologize. DKGamerFan said there was so much of Xaden lying to and manipulating Violet. Yes. Venin says the most annoying aspect of it was that Xaden is the one who's pretending he's good at relationships and claiming to teach Violet. Oh, you denied it. I got it. Oh, you blocked the term. You added blocked term. I see what you're saying. I thought you added it, and I was like, you know what? Sisterhood. It's on sisterhood. There you go. Anyway, I'm detracting from the conversation. They're getting worse, not better. And I think that the teething issues in their relationship needed to be in the first book. It needed to strengthen in the second book. I want to see that kind of shit happen I want to see them grow together because of the cat situation, which I think they try to do, but I want the real issue to be that Rhiannon's got a crush on Cat, and she's like, oh my God, I know that that's uncomfortable, but like, I really like it. Like, that would be a bit better. I don't like the fact that we see again, Cat, the ex-girlfriend, they were betrothed. She's really high up. Her dad's king or some shit. Duke. Emperor, some old word. And her power is to manipulate people. It's literally manipulation. You can't enhance what's not there. Okay, I get that. With how Cat can influence people's emotion, that's definitely scary. Third in line to the throne. Thank you, DKGamerFan. Kat's uncle is a Viscount. She's third in line for the Pomorish throne. Thanks, Sidi. Sidi's also saying that Violet needs time single to get her head on straight. Yeah, she just needs to be alone. She needs to be alone. He has a power like Jasper from Twilight. I think I've seen it in another one as well. Wasn't there someone in, again, because I'm reading Akatar, someone also had that ability, and I remember it because it's like, you know, they can't manipulate what's not there, so it's like they can only enhance the emotion. It's the very same thing that's happening. But what happens when Kat can manipulate? She goes for Violet. She's not mad at Xaden, who had no feelings for her and kind of used her somewhat sexually. He was not interested in her. He did not love her, but he was like, yeah, I guess I'll have sex with her. And she's mad at Violet. Violet did nothing. This is not about Violet. And yet, here we have another example where two women are fighting over a man. Did I find it interesting? Yeah, I loved the fact that Violet started feeling insecure because she is going through a chronic illness. She is feeling inferior a lot of the time. She's not really understanding her powers. She's not, you know, brilliant in the sense that we've been told that she is. And yet Kat comes in here and she's absolutely, like, she's an absolute smoke show. She's really talented. I kind of loved seeing that dynamic. When they started working better together, I preferred it, but it's just, you know, I don't even think we see a conversation with Xaden and Kat at all. It's just Kat trying to seduce Xaden again, which, when she's like, I don't even like him, you're like, what is this? GK says, yeah, his relationship with Kat just worsened his character. Agree.
But they were kind of using each other because she just wanted him so she could be like the queen.
I know. She's like, look at this beautiful house. I want it. I want the palace.
Like she doesn't love him either. She was using him for his throne. So I think it's kind of a two-way street on there. They used each other.
It's quite interesting though, because I wish we looked at her powers where it's like, if he liked her, she could have manipulated that feeling, but because he didn't, she couldn't. I think that would have been interesting. You know, you can't make someone love you if there's no love there. But yeah, Xaden making it up to Violet. The throne was certainly a choice. We did question number 3. What do you think Violet's second signet is? So it's either going to be talking to the dead, it's either going to be a knowledge-based thing, or it's going to be this distance walking, which will be really cute. Kat makes me think of Barlow, very one-dimensional. Oh my God, any secondary characters become one-dimensional. The first third of the book was going, I feel like you're distant. She's like, nah, sis. And then it's like, well, cool, let's do lunch together. She's like, nah, sis. And that's like, again, going in circles. It's like Rebecca will create a problem and then spend way too long discussing and talking about the problem, not coming to any conclusion, not gaining any ground on it, but just fixating and on the problem and mentioning the problem in 7 different ways. Violet and Xaden, Rihanna and Xaden, Kat and Violet. They exist to be the problem. Yes. Now, someone also said, I like the fact that Dain is a morally grey character. I think that that's actually doing him a service. I'm glad he's not inherently evil, because I think when you have someone, it's like, oh, Kat's just bad. Varish is just bad. This person is just bad. And everyone else is just really good. That's where you get one-dimensional characters. And I think that this book has character bloat, which is costing a lot of the other characters any sort of personality. They can be described with only one descriptor. Jack Barlow, bad. Rhiannon, friendly. Seeking trust. Dust Flight says, I honestly feel this book could have been 200 pages shorter and lost no details. I found a lot of it pretty repetitive. You say it 5 times, it actually loses its importance. It doesn't gain it. to me, I feel anyway. Robin says, was there anyone in this book that we can actually that we were actually upset that died? I literally cannot remember anyone's names except for Violet's mum. That is so funny. It's like that girl died and Violet's like, oh, no, it's Samira. And we're like, who the fuck is Samira? I've never, oh yeah, she was the girl that walked past me once 7 months ago. And you're like, oh no, she's dead. Oh dear. It's like, because it's written in first person, it made her unbelievable because she's feeling all this thing for something that didn't really have any importance. That's the problem when like everyone dies. It's like, make it count. That's why Sawyer only lost a leg. That's a great point, Robin. That's a huge issue with this book. The kill count's too high to give a shit anymore. Tim says, so if a book has lots of sexy time, it actually doesn't have to be well written to be a bestseller. Is that what's happening here? Oh, welcome to the conversation, Tim. That is 100% what this is. It is not a well-written book. But there's some spice. There are romance tropes. I don't know. You could read it and highlight your favorite parts and make someone happy. That's why I saw a TikTok once to the guys. It's like, guys, don't get mad if your girl is like reading smart. Read the book and do everything that he does in that book. Thank me later. Nick says Nadine died early on, who was in their squad for a whole year. And she died because she impersonated Violet. And Violet gave her no second thought. She was the one that could like project herself, right? She actually had a part in the first book. Was that not Nadine? No?
No. No, Nadine. I don't even remember. I couldn't remember her when I was listening to this one.
Oh, that's Quinn that
From
could
the
do
first
that.
book.
Thanks, Sidi.
Wait, was Nadine
Yeah.
the one that could breathe underwater?
Oh my God,
stupid-
that's the dumbest Signet. Get rid of it. But yeah, you're right. Like, she was jokingly being like, yeah, my name's Violet. Why? Got her neck broken. But yeah, Violet's kind of like, ooh, that sucked. Oh, well, have you seen how gold flecky Xaden's eyes are today? No, Nadine fucking died, man. That's a great point, Nick. Well done. Ropanda said Liam dying. That was the only person I was sad about in this series. Liam dying was so unfair. I did not like that. Liam, it's you know what? I think I drew the comparison, but it's worth saying it again. If you read Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow, you know that what's his name? Not Mac. What was his name? The best friend. Oh my God, what's his name? Starts with M. One syllable. What is it? Not a good sign if you can't remember. Oh, we read it nearly a year ago. The dead guy. Oh my God, KP dubs. Anyway, he was a character that was written with 0 flaws.
Sorry, Sam Mazer.
No, not Sam. The best friend. The other friend. The best friend of both of theirs. The one that ends up with
Oh,
Sadie.
Marks. Sorry.
Marks. An inherently perfect written character, and he dies. And so because he's so good and he dies, it hurts more. That's exactly what Liam was. Nice KP dubs. That was good. Liam was inherently a really good character. He was very good, top of the class. He was super nice. He got instructed by Xaden to watch over Violet, which he does. And he does it kind of with a smile on his face. He's flirting with Jacinia. Like, you know, he's just a happy-go-lucky, really good guy. He's encouraging. He builds trust with Violet. He doesn't have a bad day. So when he dies, it just feels unfair. And good on you, Rebecca, for making us feel something for that one, because we didn't feel a damn thing for any other death. Not even a little bit. Robin says, also, were we so happy when Jack died and then he came back? That was such plot armor. A fucking cliff fell on him. He got... Oh, yeah. Thanks, Pylane. A cliff fell on him. An entire cliff side fell on him. Was he already Venin before that moment, which is why he was more powerful?
That's what Violet was saying, was that he had to be Venin prior to her having her signet.
How
So
did Jack
maybe
do
that's how he
that?
survived.
No one's heard of Venin. It's a huge damn secret. How did he get that? Was he visited in a dream because he's fueled with hate? How did Jack become a Venin? Thoughts, please.
I feel like it has this have something to do with what the healer Nolan. Not
You reckon
'cause
Nolan converted him?
I don't know if he converted him or something he was doing when he was healing him caused him to, because he wasn't before for sure. He wasn't a Venin. That's not that we're aware of. So something happened, I think, during the process of him being healed, and that caused it. I think maybe during the search for it. I don't know.
I don't know. My God, all the puns. The whole chat is punning hard. Next time they should have tried 2 cliffs. K Frito, real cliffhanger. KP Dubs, it's like he had the whole weight of the world on him. GK says, didn't he say he was from the start?
I know. I remember they said something when she found out that he was. She made a comment about his eyes were bloodshot, but I couldn't remember if that was this book after he came back or like the whole time.
Sorry, I was getting distracted by one of KP's. Because I read the Cliff Notes. And I was just death staring him that whole time. And he caught on that was for him. What were you saying?
When she found out that had been Venin, they made a comment. She made a comment about how his eyes were always bloodshot.
Oh, that's right.
But I don't know if she was talking about like just since he came back, or
always.
if it was before.
Neither.
No,
it wasn't clear.
She specifically said that she thought that he had bloodshot eyes prior to her signet forming.
Okay, I couldn't remember because I was listening to that last part really fast, so I figure I probably just missed it.
Sidi says, I figured Nolan's huge interest in keeping him alive was because he was already Venin and they wanted to see if there was a cure. That's what it sounds like as well. That they're trying to find a cure for him and that they were able to control it, so they sent him back to school and he was kind of like void of any personality. Literally born again in a way. So I think it just suppresses everything. Don't know. Nick said, I saw a theory that Jack became Venin because he didn't bond with the most powerful dragon. Oh, not sure how he did it though. That's the thing, you're craving power. But it's like you need to you need to know that Venin exists. B, you need to be told how to become Venin. I think from what I gathered with Xaden, he was visited by the sage in dreams. And this, like, just as the sage has been doing for Violet. He's been visiting Violet, being like, turn. And she's like, no, never. And he was saying to Xaden, you will turn. I know you're going to turn. And he's like, no, I'm not. And he goes, you will turn for love. And I read online that his name is like General something. And whatever the name is in Latin, it means to love. So there's something double-edged there. Sidi says, which opens the idea that perhaps Dain's pop is Venin. Oh, Sidi, talk more about that. Sidi says that the Jack theory makes sense. It tracks to me. He wanted Tan, didn't get him, found another path to ultimate power. Darramore. General Darramore. So that's the other thing. Who do you think General Darramore is? We think maybe not Nolan. I thought. You scared the shit out of me.
Is that our new jump scare?
Got scared the living shit out of me. I saw a theory online that the sage. You ready for this? I see everyone sitting down. This is getting into theory territory here. This I have to hydrate. Don't worry, I'm building up the hype. The sage is Violet's dad, the scribe. Did he die? No. Where did he go? What's his story? He knew about the Venin, which is why he gave the book to Violet. He's aware of what this is. Is he the sage? Is he the one that has been literally making Wyvern? He's been turning everyone. He's the head of the academy. Because remember how the first Venin battle, someone was talking about her teacher, and she's like, "Oh my god, is there like a Venin college? Is there exactly what Basgiath is, but for like Venin?" They study our moves. They can understand how we fight instantly. They have been taught. There is an implication that there's this Venin academy. Is the sage Violet's dad? Mum's a general.
I mean, I think it's mentioned earlier that the stage has been around for like centuries, though. So it's, I mean, I guess theoretically they could have came in, you know, Lilith and him got together, whatever, had her, but it seems like it would be someone older than that.
Hundreds of years.
Yeah, because he's only been dead for 6 years, right?
Is
He's
that-
been dead
there's-
less than that because he's been dead since Brennan, quote unquote, died.
Right. Okay, I didn't know it was only 6 years. I just don't really know about the dad's history. I don't really get it.
Yeah, we got like no information. It's about him. It's very disappointing. It's been 2 books.
Well, it's not Varys. She's dead. Sidi says the first assassin Dain's pop sends to kill Violet, the one who broke that other girl's neck by accident instead, had bloodshot eyes, which implies that he might have been Venin. And if he was, then perhaps Dain's dad is as well. That's a really good theory, actually, because there are students that have been targeting him with that quote. Vaden, I know you put it in the document. Secrets make for poor leverage. They die with the people who keep them. So Dain's dad is a Venin commander also. DKGamerFan is in the Discord chatting in the Iron Flame area. I'm going to read out a bunch. This is DKGamerFan's corner. Until the very end of the book, the toxic relationship with Xaden made me suspect he was evil and manipulating Violet the whole time. Like how in Supernatural, which I haven't seen, spoiler for season 4, the demon Ruby duped Sam by helping and supporting him in order to follow instructions for a prophecy, but their entire relationship had been fake for the purpose of the final betrayal. Ooh, is Xaden an enemy from the start? Is Dain the good guy? We don't know. Xaden had weird rules he was following related to her, like answering any question that she'd asked, and it felt like trying to follow the rules of a prophecy. So what, like maybe he can't answer any question, he's forbidden to answer, but if she asks, he's able to answer. He just can't voluntarily give the information. That would make more sense. But their entire relationship, the way that Xaden turned red-eyed at the end, though, pretty much ruins that theory. And then the last one, Jack coming back to life and then saving Violet, presumably on orders from the Red Eyes, when she was hanging off a tower was another factor, making me also suspect Xaden of having another hidden layer of being secretly evil. Oh, I like this theory. Is Xaden secretly evil? Is he making Violet fall in love with her? Head scratcher. Gather your thoughts and make them in the comments. Lisa said Jack did say there were more of them and that no one knows is there. What? No one knows is there? Nick said, I saw a wild theory that the Brennan we see is really their dad because they looked alike, and Violet mentions he wasn't acting like the Brennan she knew. I'm not sure how likely that theory is, though. Oh. Next question. Now that we see more of the Griffins and their flyers, what's your opinion of them? We kind of spoke about that they make more sense. They're more logical. Their logic is more sound. Their survival rate is a lot higher. What do we think? Because they can also summon / use magic. Do we like the Griffins? Would you be a Griffin flyer? I'd survive it better. Good chat, everyone. Number 5. There's never been a Rider King before. Aaric has been introduced in this book. The king's son. The king thought that he'd be running rampant all over Basgiath. Turns out he's changed his name and is secretly becoming a dragon rider because he thinks that Navarre is in actual trouble and he wants to do something about it. Do you think Aaric will rule Navarre and why? Do we even really know who the guy is? I think he has 5 lines of dialogue and he's in the book heist scene and that's kind of it. One-dimensional character.
Yeah, we didn't get much about him other than he
I
was.
thought he
didn't
was
wanna
Dane's
help
brother
anybody
at
in the
one
beginning.
stage.
He didn't want anybody's help in the beginning, and then all of a sudden he's like, "Okay, I'll help you."
Yeah, I don't even know you, and I know this is illegal, and I could
Yeah.
get kicked out, even though I've cost everything to try and be here. Count me in. Nick.
Yeah,
Oh, yep.
I think he is definitely like. I mean, he definitely took a lot of risks to get there. Because I mean, he had an easy life theoretically. You know, he had everything planned out for him. He could have been fine doing what he's doing, but he decided to run away, go through all this, go join the college where he could die. So he's definitely taking like a risky path that he thinks is going to help his people. So he's doing something that's morally difficult. So
I think he'll be likable. He might die though. He'll probably
sacrifice
die.
himself.
Ray Panda says the only thing he hates more than Xaden is his dad. What's their history? What the hell? Because Xaden killed someone related to him. What was that? There was something there. Yeah.
His brother.
Xaden killed one of his brothers, yeah.
Copy. What did his brother do?
According to Xaden, he was a dick.
Oh, he killed him because he was a dick. Oh. Sidi said, I actually like Cam because he has all the position to not have to do shit, and yet he is not willing to sit on the sidelines. I know it could be Liam 2.0 here. He bullied Garrett during their threshing. Oh, the brother bullied Garrett. Okay, it's I guess, and Garrett's the cousin, yeah. Bodhi's the cousin. Garrett's the bestie. Garrett's the Cassius. Okay, next question. Why do you think General Sorrengail was searching for a cure for Venins? Because her husband's one. Next question. Do you think Liam was a hallucination of Violet or real during the interrogation scene? Is it the manifested sigil? There's too many names, says Ropanda. Reckon.
I'm leaning towards that could be her sigil, so I'm thinking he's real. Well, I mean, in the sense that he's like dead, but she's
Can't
actually seeing him.
Yeah. Vane says very possibly her husband is one. That's what I'm thinking. Why did leadership bring Jack Barlow back? Because he's a really stand-up guy.
It doesn't make any sense. So there's got to be some kind of
don't have any more
logic to it.
beer. I don't have any more beer. I mean, it's not like they're like, well, we need every life counts around here. So just like you're dead. Okay. Xaden Ryerson is also the Duke of Arisha. Did you see that coming? How does it make you feel? I mean, if it's a love interest, he has to be a prince. I'm sorry, I've read enough fantasy, romantasy. I've read enough romantasy to know he has to be in a position of standing. Bottle. Thank you, Skull Cleaver. 28 months. Appreciate it. Robin just finished. Absolutely no need for the last chapter from Xaden's perspective. I know. She keeps doing that, and it's like, stop.
It added absolutely nothing. Like, I was like, okay, so what's going to be revealed? What's going to be revealed? No, we know all this already.
Lisa says there's always a secret prince or princess. Yep. In Fourth Wing, we saw a blooming romance between Justinia and Liam, but in Iron Flame, we see that Sawyer has feelings for Justinia. Which couple do you ship more and why? What a redundant question. Liam's dead. Do we like that Justinia must be a babe, but it's also giving Little Mermaid, Ursula's whole spiel, where it's like, yes, Sunlander is much preferred for ladies not to say a word, and after all, dear, what is idle clatter for? Come on, they're not all that impressed with conversation. True gentlemen avoid it when they can. It's because she has to sign. Does he like her? Is she like hot to trot because she doesn't talk? Like, what's going on there? I mean, Violet's less sexy when she opens her mouth. That's why it said it felt so random and tacked on that having that last chapter be in his perspective. Agree. Sidi says, I think the only thing that 66 added is that Violet is still sleeping with Xaden, even though he's a Venin. Lisa says, I thought it was so cute that Sawyer's learning to sign for her. That was cute. I like that, the you're on a death wish. You've got a death wish being in the academy, but there's something worth living for. I like those moments when there's something worth living for. Venin! We're all in timeout. All of us. In fact, I think the only person that hasn't been inappropriate is Robin. So, Robin, you get a free pass.
I might save mine for January then.
Oh, what's happening in January?
Akatar.
Akatar.
Oh, God, I can't stop reading it. I'll read it again, no problem. Next question. Why do they need a luminary? Takaris holds one and wants Violet to show him her signet without of wielding lightning. Do you think she should do it? I really have no thoughts on that.
Yeah, I didn't understand why Xaden was like, no, you're not going to do it. What? Like, he just wants to see her power. Like, you can stop him from taking her if that's what you think is going to happen.
Sidi says it's hella contrived. Yup. On page 7, Imogen says that Xaden has already taken responsibility for her. What do you think she means by this?
Well, they revealed that part.
Yeah.
He got the cut. Because like he has all the cuts on his back.
Oh, we got one
showing
for
he's
her.
Yeah, he got one for her on his chest.
That's
Like,
fucked up. That's
he's
toxic. If a
claimed
man
her.
does that, run. Self-mutilation as a description of love it's not love. Okay, Tim also says he wants a free pass too. You haven't read the book, you haven't earned it. Why does Violet say it's the scribes who hold all the power?
So they can obviously
Probably-
choose what to get rid of, like in terms of the
Yeah.
knowledge.
Censorship. They're censoring history. There's a secret level that no one knew about except Riddick knew? Fucking ridiculous. Putting the Riddick in ridiculous. They're the propaganda. Yep. Scribes control the flow of information. Yep. Xaden says that it's in the second year that at Basgaeth when riders lose their humanity. Do you feel that that's been true for Violet and her squad?
I don't think so. I mean,
I was
that feels
waiting
like-
again. This is another example where Rebecca says it. She says it, but there's no evidence of it happening. If Xaden's like, fact, actual fact, it's the second year where you lose your humanity. Imogen's gone through second year. Does she have humanity? No, she wants to bonk Garrett.
I mean, it felt like on even more than like this, the second year, it felt like they were more friendly with each other, more happy. It seemed like they were, especially in the beginning, they were all like, oh, we get to do what we want for a bit, have some fun. And it seemed less stressful than the first year.
Humanity's
general.
fine. Crisis Maniac says, I had to check in and say hello, Maude. This was a fantastic book. I'm headed to bed and I can't stay. Thank you, Crisis. Very sweet. Who was just talking then? Keep talking.
I accidentally hit my button.
Oh, say something.
Hello.
That's a good start. Do you think that we'll get more information on Violet's father and his research as a scribe in Book 3? Mr. Sorrengail was researching feather tails, and then Violet bonds with one. Varish says it's ironic. Violet corrects him and says coincidental. But is it? Does Andana? We don't know who Andana's parents are. It's not Tan and Sorrengail. She has to have come from somewhere.
Well, you said something earlier about she could be like kind of the chosen one trope.
Yeah.
Well, and Darna kind of said that, like, I waited for you, like I knew you were gonna be there, and I came back for you. It kind of makes it seem like she could be a chosen one, but I don't know about that. But
And Dana's
But
parents
I
are
don't know if they
centuries dead, says Sidi. She was waiting
Yeah.
650
She-
years. How do you wait and stay young?
hadn't hatched. She stayed in an
Oh.
egg and didn't hatch for 650 years.
Whoa.
as long as she can hear a conversation of the dragons in the womb or something. I don't know, or in the egg.
Choose when oh my god, okay. Okay. There's a question in here which I think is quite interesting. This is like from my perusing of the webs. If you could kill only one villain, would it be Professor Markham, Colonel Atos, or Major Varish? Varish.
Bearish, hands down.
So
Yeah,
happy
he's-
he died. He was an actual. It's giving Snape, but there was no redemption arc. Where's the? Where are you, Ken? Turn to pet. It's giving Snape. I can't remember the 364.
Turn to page 394.
Why can't I ever get the number right? I'm like 362. No. 364? No. 394. Got it. I want the book from the dragon's perspective, and I want it to be spicy. Well, I mean, Tan and Sorengale, the two dragons, they're bonking like crazy. In book 1, they got hot and heavy, and Violet could sense it through her bond. And
Give me
was like,
Sigale.
Sigale. So I
He's a
said
Sorengale.
Sorengale. This is a thing. Sorengale, Sigale. Nolan. Like,
There's too many names in the book. There's too many names.
and it becomes a bit shallow as well. And I just don't like the regression of their relationship. That was so annoying. What do we think of Sloane? So we knew that Sloane was going to come in. This is Liam's sister. Liam's dying wish, look after my sister. Sloane hates Violet. What do you think about that kind of dynamic?
It makes sense. Like, it doesn't really make sense, though. It seems like part of the whole common themes around the books where everyone hates Violet constantly for things that weren't necessarily her fault. Like, she didn't tell Liam to be the person to defend her, and that was Xaden. And Liam was one who chose to, and he seemed to be happy with it. So, but everyone hates her just because of who she is, her mother is, who's what Xaden does for her, what dragons bond to her. And, like, it's crazy how people hate her for things that she doesn't really control.
I'll be really honest with you guys. I hope this is a safe space. If I was at Basgiath and I found out she was poisoning people to get ahead on the mats and she just couldn't train, I'd break her kneecap. I'd 100% sock that kneecap out of place. I'd be like, oops, work harder. Stop poisoning people. If you can't fight, you die. And I'd be like...
And it really wouldn't take much to pop her knee on a
Nah,
place
it
either.
wouldn't. It would not. And I would know that if I were at Basgiath College. And that's what I feel like I'm a mix of Imogen and Jack. No. Would I want more power? Absorbing from the ground. Red eyes.
The cat.
No, cat's awful. Cat's too status hungry. I'm not like that. If I was, I'd be, what do we call it in my industry? What is it called? Strategically dating. There are people who strategically date to try and work their way up the ladder. I don't do that. GK says, forget weeding out the weak. How about weeding out the team member poisoning everyone? I would totally take care of that if I was at Basgiath. I'd be like, who did what? And then I would talk to her. I'd be like, hey, Violet, are you poisoning people for real on the mats? Like, A, how do you know who you're up against? B, how do you know what they're going to be sick against? C, why are you doing that? And then if she was like, I just try to survive, I'd be like, boom, kneecap gone. Like, no, Which ladder? Career, status, all that kind of stuff. Nancy Kerrigan says Moochie to cat, first time chatter. Well, I mean, I'm saying kneecaps because she has to... Oh, that's actually really brutal. Because I'm exploiting her weakness. Listen, we're at Basgiath here. It's like you're going to die every time you wake up, pretty much. Would I be ruthless? Probably. She's poisoning people. Get out of here. We don't need shit like that. Black Belt. She went through all that trouble last year to poison her opponents because she couldn't beat them, but she has no problem fighting this year. She really got that much better in 1 year while she was injured half the time. You're goddamn right. Okay, hold on. Sidi, what did you say about Sloane? Where is it? At least Sloane has a believable reason to hate her. She was weeks from seeing her brother again after years and years, and he dies. Xaden's the only one who figured it out, and she herself tells Sloane and Imogen. Yeah, but that's when Imogen respects her. If I found that out in the first year, nah, mate. Would not fly. Because my thing is, I'd be protecting the people that she's beating. Because it's an unfair thing. It's like, my whole thing is fairness. And her doing that reeks of injustice. Like, it's not fair. It's absolutely not fair that she's, like, discreetly poisoning people to get a one-up on them. And I, being the fair police, would absolutely come in and regulate the shit out of that. I'm like, mate, that's just shitty, shitty behavior. Oh, thank you, Moochie. We've got another breakdown person here. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I am so the fair police too. But Maude, remember, Violet's the only smart one in this place who could possibly figure out her tricks. I'm guessing that's how you meant that, Sidi. I hope I did your comment justice. Is that everything? 5 more minutes. Okay, let's go through some book 3 predictions. Violet Signet might be having something to do with Xaden's dreams. Maybe she's a type of intrinsic too, according to this website. But we talked about the other signets. Andana's signet, we think, is going to be teleportation. I like that. The communicating with the dead, amplifier, all that kind of stuff. What type of dragon is Andana? Older, likely royalty, we're guessing maybe. She's referred repeatedly as the 6 and 1 combined. Her scales shine different colors, so she could be other breeds in the one dragon. Who is the leader of the Venin? There's 2 occasions when someone named General Daramore is mentioned. The first mentions that he ruined the lands of the barons during the Great War. Yeah, because they needed all that power. That's why they're baron now. The second names him as the enemy of the first 6 during that same war. This general was on the bad side of the war. It's possible he's a sage because he tells Xaden he's a general, not a sage. He tells Xaden that he will turn for love. And then the name Daramore in Spanish means to give. It's in Spanish, not Latin. Sorry, to give love. It's a double meaning. Other theories. Nolan knew Jack was Venin and was an experiment. Nolan's been mending Jack and developing that Signet numbing serum to keep him in control as well as limit his abilities. Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. Xaden's Venin and an intrinsic. We're fucked. A power-hungry intrinsic? Game over. Got to kill him. He's dead. Bye, Xaden. Too much. Too much power. Xaden's mum's got to come into play at some point in book 3. Ooh. Add more characters, even though the plethora of characters that we have now don't have personalities. Sounds good. Nick says, can we please get some world building? Maybe then we can understand character motivations. I'm going to guess Venin is going to turn out to be, it's not going to be as, oh no, you're damned, as originally thought. Fight through it. Don't give in to the power that you are hungry for. It's essentially a vampire, isn't it? Ah, dear. Venin's just the flu. In chapter 66, top section, Nolan writes a letter to the general. We have tried every method we know of, as you requested. There is no cure, there is only control. During their squad games, when they stole the map, Violet finds a dagger on her mum's desk with runes carved in it. The same runes used in daggers to kill Venin. General Sorrengail asked Sloane to siphon her power to imbue the stone instead of directly touching it with her hands. If Lilith put her hands on the stone, she would have harnessed the power that Violet put in there. She couldn't touch it directly. Why couldn't she touch the rune directly? Sorrengail's Venin. Xaden will be like Angel with a soul. He's bad, but he's not like bad. Totally.
One of the chapters did mention that siphons are the most powerful, so maybe that's why they had to have her siphon the power.
So she could handle it and not die?
Yeah, or like, because they had said that it normally takes weeks and hundreds of students to be able to do this.
Right, so she needed Sloane. So Sloane's already sort of like the amplifier in a way. I like...
Kind of.
What?
I mean, Mira's kind of amplifier, right? She can extend the wards. So
Wards.
she's kind of.
I
So it's
don't know
kind of
why she wasn't there when they were trying to project the ward. Why couldn't she be like, boop, boop, you know? Why was she not there? Make it make sense. I still think that Violet's father is a Venin. Thirst for knowledge led to a thirst for power. Violet's mum killed him with the dagger that was on the desk after they couldn't find a cure. Oh. Alrighty, that's time. Now, December's going to be a lot of fun. We are reading books 3 and 4 of the Dungeon Crawler Carl series. If you haven't read them, listen to them. They're so good to listen to. It sounds like you couldn't possibly read 3 books by 2 weeks. You can. If you're listening to them on behalf of pretty much most of Maude's book club, they smashed through it. We read the first one, and within a few weeks, like, they'd got up to book 6. Isn't that right, Robin? How's book 6 going?
Going. My husband finished it today, I think.
There you
And
go.
he was kind of upset that I introduced him to it because he's like, well, I want to use my Audible credits, and you already have all these books, so I have now a backlog of Audible credits.
That's a good problem to have. Darren, hello, Darren. Darren said, I read Dungeon Crawler Carl book 3 in about a week and a half. There you go. KPW says, Dungeon Crawler Carl, so much fun. Join us. Lisa said, I've got my audiobooks ready to go. I'm going to be re-listening to books 3 and book 4. I first listened to them about 14 months ago when my friend Claire introduced me to the series. They're so good. It's so much fun. It's a really easy listen. You can kind of switch off and just enjoy it. We're like 5 stars across the board with these books. Last time we covered them, we did books 1 and 2, and I was able to interview Matt Dinnerman. If you're listening to them, you know that Jeff Hayes from Soundbooth Audio does the best job bringing these books to life. I will be interviewing him on the 14th of December. We'll be doing book 3 for Dungeon Crawler Carl on December 13th, which I believe is a Wednesday. We'll be covering book 4 the end of the month, around December 28th, depending on my jet lag, because I'll be back from Australia by then. So 13th and 28th, you've got pretty much 2 weeks to read 2 books a piece. 2 weeks for the first book, 2 weeks for the second book. We'll be checking in, covering the entire book in one go. New achievement! You've read a good book, says KP Dubs. You really do have to listen to them. I can't stress it enough. It's so well done. They're so great. I think I preferred book 4 over book 3. Book 3 had like a lot of stuff. Oh, I don't want to spoil anything. But choo-choo, motherfuckers. So let's get it back into Dungeon Crawler Carl. Lots of fun for December. If you want to look at the locked-in first 5 books of next month, members have access. We've posted it in the members chat. If you want to be a member, sign up to Patreon. It's $5 a month. You get your bang for your buck. You get, thank you, Lisa. You get like 4 hours of book club discussion over 2 different live streams. You get an unlocked Discord. You get to vote for books. You get to vote in polls. You get to help with the schedule. It's a full democracy for you. You get a bunch of fun access. You get double entries into our giveaways. We do plenty of giveaways for books, ebooks, signed copies of books. We're doing something really fun in December. So trust me when I say don't sign up today. Wait. Oh, Tass, tomorrow? Tass isn't in here. Oh no, she's watching. Tass, tomorrow? We don't have it by tomorrow. Wait until like the first week of December. First week of December. We got something really, really cool lined up. In the festive spirit. Give to Getmas, we're calling it. So if we can unlock 5 $5 members, you will unlock an incredible giveaway package that we'll be giving away, where members have 2 times and merch members have 3 times the entries. If we unlock 2 of the $15 tiers, Sidi, I'm looking at you, we will also do a cool little giveaway package. And if we get 1 new merch member, we unlock a 3rd giveaway package. So if you give to us, we'll give back to you. That's Give to Getmas. So we'll be doing that in December. It'll be a lot of fun. Some of the giveaways are fucking cool. We've got some cool shit, especially if you're into Patrick Rothfuss's books. If you're into reading a lot of ebooks and you read on Kindles or ebooks and things like that, we got some really cool things happening. So I've said too much. We'll be announcing it soon. Very good. I have but 1 merch tier payment. There you go. Oh, yeah. Check in. What are you giving this one after we've spoken about it for 2 hours? Vaden says I ended up going down from a 3.25 to a 3. Stargirl says I'm at a 2.5. Lisa says I'm still at about a 3.5 out of 5. I said I gave it a 4. I was rounding up. It's a 3.5. I think if I read it again, it'll go down to a 3. But I'm 3.5 at the moment, and I will update my Goodreads accordingly. Nick says it's still 4.5. I mean, it's 4 out of 5 because it's still fun. It is still fun. I like reading these. I did not feel the bog down of the first half that a lot of people did. I didn't feel that it was slow in some parts at all. Was I frustrated with the characters? Absolutely. Dustlight says, I'm at a 1.5 to a 2 out of 5. Dustlight, you've been really nice for someone that gave it a 1.5 to a 2 out of 5. Well done there. If you want to keep talking about the book, we will have the book up in the Discord for a little bit in the bonus section. I don't think we've got a bonus book for December because we're reading 2 books. We're reading books 3 and 4 of Dungeon Crawler Carl. If you are a member plus, I'll see you in the video chat after. We're going to hang out for a bit until I get hungry and need to eat. See you there. Wait, we should raid. It's a Twitch thing. Who we got? Jackie Jing, let's go. Beep, beep, beep. Can everyone drop the new book emotes for Jackie, please? They look so cute. Da, 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 da. What is she doing? She's playing My Hero Ultra Rum something. Tight. Make sure you say hi. Thanks everyone for joining me for Iron Flame for the bonus book. Appreciate it. Maybe we'll get to interview Rebecca Yarros one day. Not if she watched these. She won't watch these. No one say anything bad. Did she just... Oh no.
It says she's offline.
Oh wow, the timing.
That happens.
Perfectly.
Oh no, I rated the wrong person.
Oh yeah, you did actually. Jack King, something.
And they're not even on. Are they on?
No.
Oh, I fucked up. Oh, I
You
forgot.
rated someone with 1 follower though, so we should all just follow bomb them real quick.
Oh no, they're gonna come online and they're gonna be like, 60 people rated my stream and I wasn't. I've ruined Jack King's day. I've ruined their day doing that. Oh, poor Jackie Jing. I should have checked.
I
You know
would
what?
guess that this is an account that hasn't been